All right, everybody, welcome back to Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you once again by our new sponsor, the bell button. If you're already subscribed, but you haven't belled me, bro, check out the bell right below the video next to the subscribe button so that you get notifications and you know when I post videos, which is usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, and 10 p.m. in the UK. Pretty slick stuff. Let's start off with number 19. So close. Oh, it didn't actually hit the car. Wow. That is impressive. It identified that the car was green, and it was like, a green vehicle. I must not attack my own kind. I also like this image that has nothing to do with what happened here, but it's an image of a Charger parked in a spot that says green car parking, and it's green. Obviously, the green means electric vehicles, but if I was a police officer, I'd be like, you know what? I can't fault it. He took it literally. It is a green car in the green car parking. So it almost made me want to look for, at some point in my life, a green car just so that I could search for a place that says green car parking and park there. And I would get a haha moment out of that. And then it'd be like, I bought an entire car just so I could do this. Why did I do that? Got a screw in the pack with no actual thread. Each groove loops around back to itself. That would be very frustrating. You would be trying so hard. You'd have pre-drilled your hole and then you're screwing it into the wall. You're like, why won't it go? I've never had this problem before. What's wrong? And you'd totally be gaslighting yourself. You'd think you did something wrong. Do I need to get a bigger bit to drill my pilot hole? No. And then you'd eventually get it big enough and the thing would just slide right in. You'd be like, what the hell is wrong here? And you eventually just like drill another hole, get another screw, and it would go in fine. You're like, wait a second, the problem is the screw. It's not actually a screw. How does that even happen? Because, I mean, I have to imagine that there's, like, the mechanism that actually creates the grooves inside of a screw. I have to imagine it's always moving, and how would it even have the ability to do it, like, straight across? Unless it's just, like, they use the wrong machine. Wouldn't it have, like, angled grooves in the thing that probably spins in order to cut the indentation into the screw? It's like, how would that even happen? It's got to be a pretty specialized tool that creates the angle versus it being straight cut. Weird. But according to the top comment there, it happens a lot. This power line happened to be laid straight through the skull of an Anglo-Saxon woman buried in a previously undiscovered 6th century graveyard. Does that mean that they like dug it up? They're like, that's a skull. Well, it's in our way, but we're not supposed to move these sorts of things, so just ram it on through. Or is it that, like, the hole is actually drilled underground? Because it seems kind of close to the surface, but I don't know how power lines are laid, so I don't know if they actually have kind of a bore that goes underground and just cut straight in, or if they actually rip open the surface, lay the line down, and then fill it back. If it's just blindly drilled through, then wow, that must have been interesting when they were retrieving the line out. I guess to retrieve it all out, they'd have to tear up the ground, but installing it, maybe they can just drill in. Yep. On a rock by the west coast in Sweden, I found a pattern of algae and is it lichen that looks strangely similar to Van Gogh's The Starry Night. That's really cool. I like that. I don't even know if my immediate association would be Starry Night, but it would just be like some kind of forest scene with a sky above it. That's just really cool. Cool photo. I'm glad you watermarked it. Very professional photography right there. I very much like Starry Night as a painting. It's pretty cool. I was actually listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about Starry Night on a podcast because he was wearing a Starry Night shirt and he was talking about how it was his favorite painting. And I was like, you know what? You're not wrong. If anyone actually looked up in the sky and it looked like that, they'd be like, this is a problem. There are bad things happening right now. It was like, I never thought about it that way before, but yeah, no, it's a good thing the sky doesn't look like that. And it's just a painting, because otherwise that'd be a bad situation going on up there. It'd be like, all right, well, it's time to carry out some last wishes from Idiots with Guns. Well, this is a first. A driver saw a small black object flying through the air while traveling on I-5. When the driver stopped for gas about 18 miles later, they saw this stuck in their bumper. Troopers recovered the firearm and turned it over to the Lakewood Police Department. We're glad the driver and everyone on the road was okay. Wow. Wow, okay. That's interesting. That is not what I would ever expect to happen going down the road. How did you not hear your car impacting like that? It seems like it'd make a very loud noise. I was not firing up, but just hitting something that quickly going down the highway. Something that actually goes into the body panel of your car. I guess good thing it doesn't have a magazine in it. It looks like that's empty right there. I guess there could always be one in the chamber. I don't know much about guns, but just that you should always treat it like it's loaded, and it's kind of scary. It's like someone threw it out their window on the highway to dispose of it. God, that's terrifying, dude. That is absolutely terrifying. And then there's also, like, what if a cop spotted you first before you even knew that it was there? And then they, like, all of a sudden started pointing weapons at you. You're like, what the heck did I do, dude? What? And they're like, there's a gun in your car. You be like, what the heck? I thought I heard something on the highway. Oh, man. It's just another thing to have to worry about on the road. Bubble vision. Well-timed photo. So I haven't visited the Perfect Timing subreddit in a while, but this could be part of it. Also, it could be done in Photoshop pretty easily. So, not saying I'm skeptical, but it's possible to do. But it's still a cute dog, so it's a win-win no matter what. Me as a 6-year-old, I would just own everything. I would be the smartest 6-year-old on the planet, and I would, oh my god. Thor's swing looks pretty good. Lightning, I'm assuming. That was actually a pretty nice swing. I played golf when I was like 10 years old, and that shot looked pretty good to me. I'll have you know I'm a bit of an expert at golf swings. Having that the last time I swung a golf club was a couple of years ago at a Top Golf in Las Vegas, and I think I came in last place. I was like, wow, things have really gone downhill since I last swung a golf club. This feels terrible. Holy crap, how am I so bad? I don't even know if I can hit the ball 100 yards because I can't make contact properly. It felt terribly. It was way better at golf when I was 10 years old. This could have gone way worse. So many rally car clips of them hitting crowds, and it just makes me wonder why anybody still stands that close out of corners. Like, you guys, cross post from GTA, but gosh dang. My attempt at the flying bike thingy went great. He's cruising down the hills in Malibu. I've done this many, many times, except I've not gotten this much air before. Wait, how are you gonna make the bike fly? That's pretty unfortunate. You're like, man, this is cool. I get to skydive down. Nope, the bike's got other plans. Like, how dare you leave me behind? You equipped yourself with a parachute. You didn't give me a chance to escape. I'll show you. The bike came into the speed of light, dude. YouTuber experiences his past through a video game while telling a story about it. Oh, YouTuber.
Looking at the fishes, it was all relaxing. It was all nice. It was wonderful. It was so cool. You could like swim up to fish and be like, "Hey, do that."
YouTubers talking about.
But then all of a sudden, all the fishes just, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And I'm like out pretty far as well. Okay. Like this. It was basically like this. You see all the fishes just fly away, and I'm like, "All right, strange. Guess fishes do that."
And a big fish is gonna come, or a shark.
And out of nowhere comes a giant fish with teeth sticking out, like in my peripheral.
Oh, like that right there.
F you! Are you kidding me?
That's a pretty good reaction. This YouTuber, he should stick to it. He might have a future on the platform in gaming. there's a chance some people would watch his videos. Hey man, keep it up. Keep up your storytelling. Keep playing Subnautica. It's a good game. And yeah, maybe some people will tune in over time. Don't get discouraged. It takes a while. I struggle to get one most days. I caught a fish once. And also was on the small boat when a person with me hooked my stepmom in the air on the backswing. And that was interesting and not fun to see.
Big one. Oh my gosh, I got 2 on there.
You catch 2 fish?
You're kidding me. Wow. It's the first time I've ever done that.
That
is insane.
Is that a bird? Don't birds eat fish?
Top water bird.
Why would you want to use a bird as a lure? Wouldn't fish be like, that's a bird, those eat me? Fish don't eat birds too often, right? I guess I've seen some photos of fish like leaping out of the water eating a bird, but that doesn't happen that much. Oh, I guess having just a bunch of hooks all over the place worked out pretty well. One of these 2 guys making the same movements, or of these 2 guys making the same movements. It's all the training. Actually, you know what? There are interesting studies that are done on people like mirroring each other. And like people who have been around each other a lot, they kind of adopt similar mannerisms. And so there is a chance that like these 2 people, they've just practiced for years and years and years together. And so unconsciously, without even realizing it, they adopt similar mannerisms. And so it just so happens that that particular animation loop, it started at the same time for the both of them and just played out pretty well. Neither of them even realized it, I'm sure. Guy winning the jackpot while streaming live.
Nice.
I want to know how big is the jackpot? Is it a big jackpot?
Oh my god, that is the biggest jackpot
How much?
ever.
16,000?
And you guys saw it live. Holy cow. I am shaking. Yes, call the attendant. Call the attendant. Thank you, YouTube. You made this.
I mean, YouTube technically made it happen because if he wasn't streaming at the time, then his timing to press the buttons probably would have been slightly different because he's going back and forth between reading a chat and all that stuff. So the act of being on YouTube impacted the time that he pressed the button, and it's probably got an internal clock-based system which depends on when the button is pressed and how it pulls the result from it. So YouTube did make that happen for him. I saw someone once, and I was so unsatisfied at the end of the story because I saw like a big commotion at a slot machine at the Las Vegas airport once, and this woman like freaking out. And then my plane had to go before I could ever look at the resolution. I had to board. And meanwhile, the woman's freaking out, and there's like an attendant going over there, and I wanted to know what happened. I wanted to know what she won, and I still to this day have no idea. And it's really a pain point that I think about regularly. What did she win? Did her life change forever at that moment? Was she able to go in and quit her job that she hated her boss at and go retire on a deserted island somewhere? Or was it just like a minor amount that she was able to, I don't know, go have a nice dinner? I'll never know. I'd like to think it was the former, but here we are. My car had the last laugh. That is bad car accident. What are the odds? At least you have some good humor about your car being upside down. I hope you weren't reading that book as you were driving, or that might have been a contributing factor to the accident. Man. You must have thought of that immediately while you crashed. You're like, I have a book back there called What Are the Odds? I wonder what these ones were. Oh, look at that. It's just teasing me. Gens are everything. I've definitely seen this one before, and also it's called Jeans, not Gens. Why is this the top and it's so badly misspelled? A 9,000-year-old skeleton was recently found inside a cave in Cheddar, England, and was nicknamed Cheddar Man. His DNA was tested, and it was discovered that a living relative was teaching history about half a mile away, tracing back nearly 300 generations. So you're telling me that 2 to the 300th power is low odds? Because I don't know about you, but when I start going high up in the family tree right there,